the stipulation.
GPS signal lost.
Ooh,
That was you.
okay. You looking for Jesus. And they lost the signal. See? See what you do is you open up the Bible to Hezekiah, 3rd chapter, 21st verse.
I don't know how to make your volume go
It
nowhere.
will make your crooked path straight.
Oh my
Because
God.
that's what the Lord does.
That's what the Lord does. Oh,
He does. He leads. He guides.
OMG.
He gets us to where it is we need to go to so that we don't get lost in this life, in world, and the situations and circumstances that we have to deal with.
Yeah.
The Lord is our GPS.
He is our GPS.
Because we're going to go through stuff, and we're going to deal with stuff, and life going to get in the way, and we're going to have issues, and we're going to have issues. You know, sometimes some people have issues.
You got issues, I got tissues.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Until those run out. 'Cause
Then
you know,
we
some
got an
people
issue.
got too many.
Well, you thank
They
God
don't-
you
but they
got
don't
on
wanna-
long sleeves.
Oh,
Okay.
I've had that happen once before.
Really?
Somebody
Please
used-
tell me it was a child.
It really wasn't. Some chick used my sleeve as a snot rag because she could not contain her boogers because she was going through. I did not appreciate that. But I ain't saying anything. I was being compassionate. Because
Okay.
obviously
Wow.
she needed my sleeve more than I needed to
I've
punch her
had-
in the face.
I've had
So,
worse than that.
You've had worse than
I
that.
have absolutely had worse than that.
Somebody peed on you?
Nope, I was getting a massage and somebody sneezed on my butt. Like
Really?
straight up on my bag, just have Yep.
That was that special oil that they were applying, that elixir.
It
That-
should not sound like that when you take it out the bottle. It's something that drops deep down on the inside of you that paralyzes you. Like, I really want to
So
get
what
up.
did you do? You just laid there? You just
I
played possum
was
like...
paralyzed. I was like I couldn't speak. I couldn't anything, and it just felt like.
Well,
A serious
you
violation.
know...
I couldn't.
No, you know what they say?
I couldn't even help.
There's a saying.
No, you about to make it up.
I am not going to make it up. These
You
are...
already laughing.
No, these are sayings that are worldwide known.
What is this saying?
Better out than in.
It was a sneeze.
Exactly. Better out than in. So obviously there was something going on
This
the
is
inside.
but no,
He
this is the
sneezed
issue.
it out. And
My
he was
issue
healed.
is we're in an entire room. You could have turned your head anywhere else.
No, it
instead
just
of on
came,
my
but it
back.
came instantaneous. He didn't know it was coming.
Sneezes do what? They're not helicopters. They're airplanes. There is takeoff time. You don't just you. And at that right there, you look left, you look right, but you don't keep looking at my back and spit on it.
It's the anointing.
He was a atheist or whatever. Like, it was a racial snot. I don't know what it was. It was not appropriate.
I feel that.
Yeah.
Mm.
So sleeve is one thing, but it ain't nothing till you've been sneezed on.
Mm. See, the
By
Lord,
your
the Lord is
massage
trying
there.
to teach you something.
Mm-hmm.
He allows us to go through things
Absolutely.
in order to
Please
teach us
make
a
this right.
lesson.
Gotta
Please.
have a lesson.
Please.
Everything
Exactly.
is a lesson.
Everything in
But so
life.
many people don't get
Two
it.
Because
of y'all are
they don't
working together.
look for
What
it.
was my lesson? Please, y'all.
Patience. Patience.
Patience.
Yes. So you didn't get up and kick him in his throat. So you didn't curse him out. So you didn't cost him his job. Patience. Obviously, he was going through. He had a moment. We all have moments. The problem is we're never patient with one another. We need to be our brothers and our sisters' keeper.
Can
We
I
need
spit
to
on
have
you?
compassion. Of course you can. Go ahead. She in front of me. Now, if you miss and happen to hit Felecia, that ain't my fault, you know.
I'm gonna do like
Yeah.
I'm gonna put the hair in the way.
You can't put it on the hair.
Mm.
I've witnessed that.
Can't mess with the hair.
A chick spitting on somebody else's hair. Ooh.
If
Talk
it's
about
coming to my face,
fighting.
it's going to my
To
hair.
the-
Because I got deadly products, skin and scalp antiseptic. It'll kill it.
All right. Mm.
Yes.
Yes.
Note to self.
Can I put it on my back though?
It's an antiseptic. Essential oils.
or as we learned in our last segment, not with you, But apparently there was somebody who swore by Clorox. So they put Clorox on everything.
Not
So-
bleach, because there's a difference.
Exactly.
It had to be
Clorox.
name brand Clorox.
Yeah, it had to be Clorox.
Clean your cabinets with it, do your laundry with it.
She even cleaned her vagina with it.
No, she didn't.
That's what I got it with. That was my takeaway.
That was
She
your
does vaginal
takeaway.
cleansing.
She
She does vaginal
Clorox to do
Right, that's her
She
business.
did not use Clorox.
And she was talking about the steaming and the stuff like that. And she was swearing by Clorox, so I just assumed she used
Felecia.
Clorox on her hoo-ha.
Felecia.
Right, that was a normal assumption, right?
Felecia, let's talk about
Because she
mental
used it on
illness.
everything else and she
Wow.
turned it into her profession and what she did. So I was like, oh, okay, well maybe that's a thing.
Yeah.
Let's talk
I'm not
about
using it
mental-
on mine,
Let's talk
but
about
you can
mental
use it on
illness
yours, I
and
guess. You know.
Mental wellness, because clearly.
Yeah, she's not licensed.
Actually, I don't think she is. I don't
Yeah,
think
that's
she is.
It's
Yeah.
called disinfectant.
She didn't do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, okay.
She didn't do that.
But you've been through some stuff.
I've been through some stuff.
Why don't
Absolutely.
you share with people some stuff that you've been through because you have a book?
Absolutely.
Talk to us about the book.
Absolutely. The book is From Prison to Power to Peace, turning my setbacks into comebacks.
Say that
Changing
again.
from prison to power to peace, turning my setbacks into comebacks.
Mm.
Changing from a negative to a positive. Allowing my life to be a testimony.
Mm.
Allowing my life not to be in vain in all the things that I've been through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What have you been through? Because
Well-
the way you look now, you ain't never been through anything.
Whoa.
Because you
She went
shiny
through the
and
mall.
shopping and everything,
Right.
and the Pradas and the Gucci's. Yeah, go ahead with your
Yeah.
bad self.
Yeah, none of that.
Mm.
But, you know, I've been through a lot from birth. I was 1 pound. I was 1 pound growing up. They said I was slow.
Mm.
So I spent my life thinking that I was everything less than what I
Wow.
was. And I had very low self-esteem, no self-awareness at all. And it was a lot. They said I had a slow learning and reading disability. So I pretty much spent my life, 3 girls and with all men
Mm.
in all my major classes, from elementary to graduation,
Mm.
Wow.
because we didn't move.
With all men
All men.
in the classroom.
Yeah, max maybe 3 females.
Mm.
That was deep. It was deep. It was
Good
an
for you,
experience.
bad for the men.
Yeah, it was just an experience because you had
Right.
to deal with these same
No
people all the
choices.
time,
Mhm.
but it allowed you to, you know, I have better relationships with men.
Okay.
Right.
You know what I'm
You
saying?
learn, right.
We're friends. I grew up around men.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I learned a lot from men.
Now, you're married.
I'm married.
Mm-hmm.
I'm married.
How does your husband take to your friendships with men?
Actually, me and my husband, we both had friendships with men and women when we got together. And we were so secure with ourselves that does
That's
not
good.
affect us because our friends are our friends. I have friends that I actually went to junior high and high school with still now,
Mhm.
today. Not just that I'm out here meeting just men, you know, because I got plenty
Right.
women friends, but, you know, everybody's not on that level.
Right.
Mhm.
Felecia don't do drama.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, you know, growing up, whenever I wanted to go out, I had to go with my brother and my god brother.
Yep.
Mhm.
So I got to, you know, I was in a go-go band growing up. So, you know, I was around a lot of men, so it was like a protective type of thing.
Mhm.
Right.
You know, when I was out there in the street on drugs, on crack,
Who?
yeah, yeah.
Say it isn't so.
Yes, say it
Mm.
is so. Insecurity, all that kind of stuff,
Wow.
it sends you places.
Mm.
I had mental health, didn't know it.
Mm.
Didn't know it.
Crack.
Absolutely. Thank God I'm free.
Mm.
Thank God I'm free.
That's right.
Over 20 years, thank God I'm free.
Mm.
Yeah,
That's
you
right.
know, it's just very grateful because it was a reality that wasn't me. It was something that insecurity allowed me to fall into,
Mm.
you know, because like you were saying earlier, in our first segment, we was talking about how people treat you. You don't have that support. You don't have that encouragement. And people always telling you what you can't do and what you ain't. And when you start believing that, because I grew up dancing, I grew up in my gifts. You know, my mom saw that I had a lot of creative gifts. And she started putting me in those things, you know, dancing and acting classes. And I kind of explored myself. And it became my love. So now I am a spiritual dancer.
Okay.
You know, I am ordained minister.
Okay.
You know, so I'm also a mental health coach, so I'm also able to actually help people. You know, I've embarked into as a life coach, so I'm able to go into you, because you know I've learned until we get to the root, we can't get to the fruit.
Wow.
And no matter where we go in business, no matter how successful we are in business, if we don't deal with our inner self and take time to do our own spiritual work, then it's gonna fail, because all it takes is a trigger.
That's
I
true.
thought going from 0 to 100 was for real. I thought it was normal until I learned it's mental health.
Right.
You know, so it's so many aspects and there's so many areas of mental health that we carry, that we've got. You know, it was passed down to us from our parents, stuff that they don't even know. Just a lot of learned behaviors, a lot of things that we have carried, and we are being that is not even us. You know, and we sit in those dark holes. We sit in other people's truth, thinking that is ours.
Wow.
You understand what I'm saying? We
Yes.
try to be somebody that we totally not, and we don't
Living
even have a clue.
vicariously through other people.
Absolutely.
Right.
You know, and we're living a life that really is not ours. And to get to the part that's ours, a lot of people don't want to feel that. Because you know, they said, you know, absolutely it's painful, and you know, we've been raised to believe that what happens in the house stays in the house.
Right.
And we're not able to share our feelings,
Or
communicate
just pray about it.
or just pray about it. But this above prayer. Because see, this came, it can be chemically, you know,
That's
enforced. Right. It can be, you know, genetically, granddaddy, you know, whoever. And we carrying things that we don't even know that we're carrying. Absolutely. Because we're taught that we're not supposed to, you know, dig in to see why.
Right.
Or to ask questions. We're being disrespectful.
Right.
So, you know, that's where and why I became a change agent, a life coach, a change coach, you know, because it's so much, and I see it every day. You know, I just saw a kid, a friend of mine, commit suicide at 10 years old.
Wow.
From being bullied.
And can
you know, and I remember me. I instantly went back to me.
Where do these kids even come up with that?
You know, I had a young lady to tell me that, you know, it's on YouTube.
That's
you know,
insane.
and they have like apps for kids now. And I remember through my journey, I tried to commit suicide. I was sitting in church. I was sitting around people that I thought was there for me and supporting. Nobody had a clue. Nobody understood. Nobody even had a aspect of what I was feeling.
Right.
It was me that was crazy.
Discernment trying to identify.
Couldn't relate to the innermost. And I've learned from just doing my own spiritual work and studying that we have to go in. Because the world is masked. Everybody got on a mask.
Yes.
Everybody trying to be this way, that way.
A filter.
You know, it's too much. We have to learn how to, you know, be real. And I just believe that God's calling people back to the basics.
Yes.
Take your mask off so you can really see what's happening.
That's true.
And see who you are. Because we can't never get to our destiny if we really don't know who we are. We keep going around in circles. You can go up to a certain level, but all it takes is one thing to remind you of something.
That's right.
Something. And you're just like, boom.
Right. Back at the bottom again.
You know, and it's up to you and your trust and your belief and your determination to whether you're going to get back up and try it again.
Right.
That is true.
You know, so, you know, that has been the thing that I've done, and that's why I have classes that we're now able to support others that want change, that don't know how to get it. You know, and just want to see something different for their lives, and I'm able to help them identify, own up,
That's
and
right.
to be accountable
Yes.
for what they did or didn't do, and not blame themselves, forgive whoever, including themselves, and be able to say, you know what, it happened, I'm still here, let me move on.
Wow.
Right.
Why am I holding something from 30 years ago that I don't even remember what it was? I'm mad at you and I don't even know why I'm mad at you.
My mama didn't like you, so I can't like you. I can't like your kids because my parents didn't get along. That Hatfield McCoy, those generational, you know, things that
Generational
pull
curses.
people away.
That's because y'all are women. I just want to throw that out there.
You know,
Okay, that's why I was there.
Because as a woman,
Okay.
you're an incubator. You hold things. You birth things. You cultivate things. You nurture things. So sometimes it becomes more difficult for a woman to let something go. A man, we fall out. 5 minutes later, we in the back with the ball, hooping it up.
Yeah.
It's easier for a guy to let stuff go, to roll off our back, and to be boys again. When women fall out, sometimes y'all carry that. I ain't talking to you for the next 30 years.
Right.
You got family members and stuff like that not talking to each other today because of something that you thought happened. It was never validated, verified, or anything, but we haven't talked. The kids don't know each other anymore. We ain't showing up at the family reunion, all of that because of the past hurt and the pains that we just hold on to. And we just don't know how to just let it go.
Absolutely. I just rekindled a friendship with a very good friend of mine just last night because it had to be about 2 years ago. We had a conversation, and like you, I'm the life coach, you know, and I was about to venture into something, but instead of her giving me approval or saying, okay, you know, whatever I want to say, and I said to myself, her remarks are out of love and protection of me. So, you know, all right. But where I saw that I had to step back because of her remarks, I knew that our relationship and things that I had experienced with her in the past or things she had consulted with me in the past, I did not think there was any way I could articulate how I felt about moving forward with my decision and get her support. Be it I am right or wrong, no matter how it ends up, there was no way that I could articulate it, so I felt the only thing that I could do was to kind of backpedal a little bit, call a little less, you know, still send a text every now and then until it became absolutely nothing. And for whatever reason, out of the blue, she gave me a call. And when we talked, it took 2 years for me to say, if she called me back after 2 years, either she's gonna stay, she's gonna be able to take it or not take it. You know, so sometimes I agree that women can hold things, but if you are familiar with someone's characteristics, you know, and I'm talking about good girlfriends.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about like petty, like I just met you 2
I've
days ago.
experienced exactly what you're saying, so I'll get it. I get that.
But good girlfriends, because I loved and valued her so much, I didn't want to say anything that would really destroy our relationship because I kind of know you a little bit and how you respond to things. And it had to be a moment where she came to me and I told her, I was like, you know, are we ready to talk? And it was just like, all right. And I have not done anything in my life that I regret. Like, I have no regrets. I knew some of the things that I did, there would be a consequence to them, and I weighed the option, either I'm gonna get caught or I'm not get caught. But either way, like, you know, I did whatever it was. But for the first time in both of our lives, we were like, you know, we missed out on time by not trusting each other's heart to have this discussion.
And that's the whole thing, and that's why I stand as a change agent, because the experience and the just society is so heavy into that, that the creation and the experiences that they're passing on to the next generation is going to be even worse. if we don't get a handle, because
That's
each
right.
level gets weaker. So we have to be able to be accountable, and we have to become aware in ourselves, because we can't help any other generation
That's right.
do the same thing. So it's like, because I work it every day, I see it on both sides. That it could be the smallest thing
Yes.
that a person is holding on to. Something happened to you at 5.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
And all it takes is one thing, and it will flip your world
That's right.
upside down.
That's right. So true.
And we try to think it's off our back and keep it moving, baby, because we so busy.
Right.
But baby, all it takes is one thing to trigger. I'm
That's
still
right.
here. You know, or it takes something that somebody does. What I've learned is, if it's something that you do affect me, then guess what? It's a lesson in it for me. Or it's something in you that's reflecting of me. I'm seeing a mirror. I'm seeing the mirror. And it's affecting me. And if it affect me at all, then that means I need to do some work on myself. So now I look different at you. When you flip off on me, oh, okay, you just need to do a little work.
You're hangry.
Yeah. You're going to be all right. I made it through. You can too. Realness give you freedom.
Or just drop kick them. All those fires.
We were right here, and all of a sudden, yeah.
And
What'd
if you
say,
notice,
Ernest?
and if you notice, she said,
I was
How can
like,
people
Lord.
get in contact with you? How can they buy your book? How can they follow up? All that fun stuff.
Well, actually, they can, we do have the book on Amazon.com, and they can always email me at Felecia Pollard at Gmail. They can send a text to 980-233-0873. And they also can Instagram me at felecia.creates.com. The books are here, they are ready, the classes are ready, and we're ready to help you do your work.
Family, you heard it here. You can never say that we don't bring to you the best of the best of the best of the best.
Absolutely.
To be able to change your life, to make it more positive, to make it more enriching, to make it more valuable so that you can be a blessing to somebody else. You're tuned in to the Profit and Growth Hour here on WDRB Media,
The voice of the community.